This video is brought to you by Powder and Pour, your go-to for naturally hand-packed, small-batch hot beverages. Indulge in flavors like white chocolate, cheesecake, hot chocolate, and discover the joy of slow, comforting sips made from only the finest natural ingredients. Warm up your day with Powder and Pour, because every cup should be an experience.
There's a stretch of road outside of town most people avoid after dark. A narrow, cracked path swallowed by trees called Hollow Creek Road. The branches hang over it like twisted fingers, and the locals say if you drive down it after midnight, you'll hear voices whispering your name from the woods. No one ever stops to find out what happens next, except for Ethan Rowe. Ethan was a photographer chasing real horror. His social media had blown up because he explored abandoned places and uploaded haunting photos. When he heard about the Mercer House, a decaying Victorian mansion hidden at the end of Hollow Creek Road, he knew he had to see it for himself. The Mercer family had vanished there in the 1980s, their dinner still set on the table, their fates unknown. No bodies, no clues, just silence. Ethan left just after sunset. His car headlights cut through the mist as he drove deeper into the forest. The radio flickered between static and faint voices that weren't from any station. His phone kept losing signal, and every now and then his lights caught movement along the edge of the trees. A shadow, stepping back into the brush, quick and silent. He laughed nervously and told himself they were just animals. But then, as he rounded a bend, he caught sight of something in the reflection of his rearview mirror. A pale face staring at him from the back seat, grinning. He slammed the brakes and turned around, heart pounding. The seat was empty, but the window beside it was fogged from the inside, and a small handprint smeared across the glass. The Mercer house sat crooked at the end of a weed-choked driveway, 3 stories tall, rotting, its front door hanging open just enough to let the wind whisper through. Ethan lifted his camera more to distract himself from the dread crawling up his spine than anything else. The flash revealed a grand front room draped in decay, cracked wallpaper, dust-covered furniture, a chandelier hanging by a single chain. He checked the preview screen and froze. In the corner of the photo, a figure stood facing the wall. He lowered the camera. The corner was empty. He raised it again. The figure was still there, unmoving, head tilted slightly as if listening. Ethan stepped forward. The floorboards moaned beneath his feet. Overhead, the chandelier began to sway, though no air moved in the room. He took another picture. The figure was closer now. He moved upstairs, trying to steady his breath. The air was thick and heavy. Doors lined both sides of the hallway, some closed, others cracked open. The first room he entered was a child's bedroom, perfectly still. A small doll sat upright on the pillow, head tilted. As he stepped closer, the doll's eyes rolled open and whispered something in a language he didn't understand. He stumbled back, heart hammering, and hit the next door behind him. It swung open to reveal a tall mirror with a deep crack down the center. He saw himself reflected, except his reflection was smiling. He ran from the room, slamming the door. The house groaned around him. Somewhere below, he heard a faint knocking. It came from beneath the kitchen floor. Against every instinct he had, he followed it, pulling aside warped boards until he found a trap door. The hinges screamed as he opened it and descended into darkness. The smell hit first, mold, dirt, and something sweet and rotting. His flashlight flickered over the basement walls. There were photographs pinned everywhere, hundreds of them. Each one showed a different person, all wide-eyed, terrified, mid-scream. And in the background of every photo, there was a shadowy figure, always just behind them. He stepped closer, eyes scanning the pictures, then stopped cold. The most recent photo was him, taken from behind only minutes ago. He dropped the flashlight. It rolled across the floor, throwing wild shadows. Something moved in the darkness. Slow, deliberate footsteps. He ran back upstairs, but the front door was gone. Not closed, gone. The wall was smooth where it used to be. Every window was bricked over. The house shuddered like a living thing. He could hear voices whispering his name coming from every direction. The staircase stretched impossibly upward into blackness. Hands began reaching out from the cracks in the walls, pale, cold, grasping. Ethan stumbled into a side room and slammed the door. The whispering grew louder, turning into distorted laughter. His flashlight flickered one final time, and in that brief flash, he saw words scrawled on the walls and something dark and wet. "You found us. Now you stay." Days later, hikers found Ethan's car abandoned on Hollow Creek Road, driver's door open, keys still in the ignition. Inside the Mercer house, police found his camera lying in the hallway. Only one photo remained undeleted. It showed the Mercer family sitting around their dinner table, smiling. And there, sitting with them, was Ethan, eyes wide open, mouth sewn shut.